Okay, in our last video, we talked about writing answers in simplified radical form. Now, this can be a little tricky, but if you're good at prime factorizations and factoring and stuff like that, it's not so bad. So to get this value into simplified radical form, here's what you do. You take the number 171 and you break it down into its prime factorization. So what number times what other number gives me 171? Well, since 171 is an odd number, it can't be divisible by 2. So a good choice to start us out is let's try to divide 171 by 3. So we're going to do 171 divided with 3. Well, 3 doesn't go into 1, so you move over. How many times does 3 go into 17? Well, about 5 times. 3 times 5 is 15. Subtract. What do you get? 2. Bring down the 1. 21. What do you do here? Well, what times 3 gets me 21? Well, 7 times 3 gets me 21. So I put a 7 at the top. Put 21 down there. You have no remainder. So I now know that 3 times 57 gives me 171. Well, we know that 3 is a prime number, but how about 57? Well, again, 57 is an odd number, so let's check if 57 is divisible by 3. So we can do 57 divided by 3. Well, how many times does 3 go into 5? It goes in once. You get the 3. Subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. Bring down the 7. Now does 3 go into 27? Yes, it does. It goes in 9 times. So you're going to eventually find you have a remainder of 0. So then you understand that you can break down 57 into 3 times 19. Okay, well, from here, I'm going to substitute, instead of putting the square root of 171, I'm going to put the square root of 3, which I get from here, times 3, which I get from here, times 19. Well, there are 2 ways you can look at this. One of them, which is the more mathematical way, is you can see that 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 19. And the way radicals work, you can actually separate it like this. Square root of 9 times the square root of 19. Well, the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 19 stays the same. So you get that as your final answer. That's one way you can try to do it. Another way you can try to do it is simply, once you've gotten it into this form, any duplicates you see, you cross one of the duplicates out and put the other one in the front. So that would also get you 3 square root 19. Either way, you can do it. Either way will get you the right answer. Now, if you don't feel like finding all the factors of 171 by hand the way I just did, you can always use a calculator. Well, how do you do that? You first turn your calculator on, clear all your other work, take 171, and let's say, oh, maybe divide by 3. What do I get? 57. So that's one of my factors is 3 and 57. You might even get lucky and say, oh, 171, maybe let's try divide by 9. Oh, that gets us 9 times 19, which is kind of what we have down here. Well, if my factors are 9 and 19, it saves me another step. I can realize that 9 is a perfect square, so if I take the square root of it, I am going to get 3, and then do the rest from there. Hopefully that didn't come off as super, super strange, and it'll make more sense after a little bit of practice.